Hi. Happy Saturday. I have something to share with you all. I have just spent more money than I think I ever have in my entire life. And it's more than Halloween Raya, which is a number I will take to my grave. Okay. It's more than Halloween Raya, it's more than Seraphs, it's more than Legendary Micaiah. Okay? It's more than Eula, A, Shenhe, combined, even. We're talking well, maybe extreme gacha numbers, but we're talking beyond just the average gacha amount that has been spent in a game. We're talking hundreds and thousands of dollars. I just bought a house. Yeah. And it is ugly. it is the ugliest house. But I'm gonna make it not ugly. So there's that. A lot of you guys probably don't realize, but I was a child once, and I grew up in an 1820s farmhouse in the middle of a cornfield. Back when it was not okay to like anime in public, So I'm handy. I feel like I'm handy. You know, I got skill. I mean, I'm not a carpenter per se. But I bought a house. Jen and I bought a house. Everything was signed off on last night. It was a bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. We got the notification on it Thursday morning. We saw it on a whim Thursday evening because we told our realtor, like, hey, did you see this one? And we were looking at another house. And so they go in and they're like, oh, yeah. What are you doing after this? Do you want to see it? And we're like, sure. Yeah. So we go, and I walked in, I was like, oh. I mean, guys, there's HVAC, there's heat pumps in so weird places, okay? I don't know if anyone's super familiar with housing as far as viewership goes, but things are places that don't really make a lot of sense. Maybe they did back in the 80s when it was built, but certainly not 30 years later. But it's a decent sized house, and we saw a lot of potential with it. So we pulled the trigger. I don't know if you guys are terribly familiar with the housing market right now, but it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Jen and I started looking about 2 years ago, and it got nuts. Particularly like early 2021 is when it really popped off. Stuff was going for $100,000 over asking because buyers were just in a bidding war. Interest rates were really low. I think they're like double what they were at this point, or at that point now. They're about 6%. They used to be about 3%. And it's like a house that would normally cost you, like, we'll say $300,000, right? Like, not a crazy house, but a good house, right? Like a decent size, you're gonna be there for a while kind of house. Something like that. In fact, we literally just saw a house that we were looking at probably like 6-7 weeks ago. It was listed at $315,000. Normal market, it probably would list for $280,000. It sold for $442,000. Oh, yeah. It's everywhere. Man, it is everywhere. Like even a little 1,400 square foot home, right? Like not much bigger than a decent sized apartment. That will probably, depending on the area and condition, cost you like 380,000. It's insane. So we had always kind of thought that we were gonna get a fixer upper, and we did. Oh God, we did. It is it's an interesting looking house. I don't want to share too many details because, you know, yeah, it's a weird looking house, but it's got a lot of potential. It's huge. Well, I mean, huge for me. Jen and I have been living in 1,000 square foot apartment during the pandemic. We got the place that we're at now in 2019, late 2018. Sorry, we got to enjoy all the frills and thrills for about a year, and then COVID hit, and so we've just been kind of trapped in here for like 2 years. It's a 1-bedroom, 1,000 square foot apartment. It's not big. It's not big. So, you know, upgrading to the place that we're gonna be at that has 4 bedrooms, whoa, is crazy. It's so crazy, and I feel like we gave them a really good deal for the amount of work that it needs. We did not pay over 400, by the way. We didn't even come close to 400,000, just to be clear. I don't have YouTube money, okay? Like, I try to have YouTube money. I don't have YouTube money. But it's going to be a couple years of work for sure. Yeah, it's exciting and scary. Everything, of course, has to go through appraisal and, you know, inspection and all of that. That's another thing. We couldn't get a house because we didn't want to waive inspections. Isn't that nuts? People just want to buy a house as is without knowing anything that's possibly wrong with it. Why? Why and how do people do this? I feel like everything just kind of fell into place for us, to be honest. I haven't told my parents yet, by the way. Jenna hasn't. We haven't told any of our family. None of our family knows. You guys are literally the first to know. Except I may have, after Whiskey tweeted it last night. If I may have, I mean, I definitely did that. So technically the KCB Twitter found out first. But that's a very small portion of you diehards out there. The majority of you will maybe see this. Hopefully you see this. There's probably not a lot of interest in my my personal endeavors like this, but I just wanted to share and let you know that happens. Maybe we'll have some house content. If I buy a house and film the renovation, that's content, right? That's a deduction. No? Should be. Can you just buy a house for content? Is that a thing? I bet you can. I bet there's like very little law structure around that. Anyway, that's not what I did. I bought a house because we want to be able to live somewhere and not pay like crazy amounts of rent. The rent and the house payment are actually pretty similar. Like, that's how crazy rent is. It's just, it's terrible, man. Anyway, that's my update to you guys. Happy Saturday. There's more videos coming. I have a bunch of stuff pre-recorded where I'll probably be talking about house hunting and stuff, because I did that like earlier this week, and this all happened so fast that you know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nothing. Can't do anything. That's it, I guess, for now. I will be on Bromains later. If you see this early enough, you should come check that out. And I'll be streaming later tonight as well, so we'll talk more then. But yeah, bought a house. Poggers. This is fine. Oh god. Alright. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Subscribe, come back for more. And until then, I will catch you next time.